Hello, thank you for joining us for Thursday Night Reading Sprints. I'm joined by lovely friends Vix and Lizzie, who I don't think have been on screen together, have you?
Nope.
So, introductions done. I've obviously had you both on screen before, and it's always really nice to have you on. Lizzie, I'm hoping that you're going to work some of the magic of like motivating me to do some editing tonight, because I've got slightly behind with my edits. I've been trying to edit 20 pages a day, and I've just been slightly falling short consistently for a few days, so it's like it's caught up on me, and I've just looked and gone, whoa, I'm behind. So I'm hoping we can all motivate each other. Let's have a chat about what the three of us are planning to do, and then we can pop to the comments and see who's with us. So how about you, Vix? Have you got some reading plans for the evening?
I am going to be listening to Nevermore, and I've got some sock knitting to do.
Sock knitting. Are they adult socks, children?
Yeah, they're
children's
for me.
socks?
For me.
Oh, cool. I'd love to be able to knit actual items of clothing. I can knit you a lovely square or rectangle, but I haven't progressed. Although I did get sent a crochet kit with a book to crochet a little heart today, and I've been saying I'm going to learn to crochet forever. And I was like, oh, a beginner's crochet kit, amazing! So I'll try that crochet.
Crocheting is really easy. Really easy.
It sounds terrifying from the description, but I feel like it might be one of those things that I need to actually physically be holding the wool in my hands for it to make sense. It's like flip this piece over here and tuck this piece under, and yeah, I'm hoping it's easy. Alex, who comes on quite a bit, crochets all kinds of cute stuff when she's on. She's crocheting, I think, a headband for a friend at the moment, and she's really made me want to do it. So yeah, I'm really, really thrilled about that, but I haven't got time for that tonight. So is Nevermore the middle grade sort of?
Yeah, Morrigan Crow.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard really good things about those. Like, I've got friends who are middle grade authors, and that seems to be the book that all of them like cite as one of their favourite middle grade books. Is this the first time you've read it?
Yeah, first time. What am I reading it for? Oh, my back to school theme.
That's cool. I love a theme. I haven't been organised enough this year to have any kind of themed reading. I need to get myself sorted because there's some good readathons coming up next month. How about you, Lizzie? What are you reading tonight?
I am going to be listening to We Sold Our Souls. There's the book club that I run, which is the Total Bollocks book club. The prompt for this month was retro gothic, and I thought, considering the setting, and it's kind of like got a retro, kind of like 80s kind of feel to it, it fit the prompt. So I'm currently listening to that. I've got quite a lot left to go, but I've been in such a reading slump. Like, this is the first time I've read this month, and we're 21 days into the month, so it's the only book I need to read this month. So
concentrate on that.
Yeah, but I'm also going to be playing on the Switch. I'm probably playing some Dream
nice.
But
I've promised myself to buy that. Sorry, I've just interrupted you because I'm so excited that I need that game. Sorry, what were you just saying?
I might also start a new Zelda game. It's like a really old Zelda game, but I finally got the cartridge for it. So I don't know. I'll either play Zelda or I'll play Dreamlight Valley. But Dreamlight Valley is amazing, and you just won't do anything else. So I'd suggest not getting it until after you finish editing.
Well, that's it. I know that until mid-November, I'm going to be really busy with book stuff. And my birthday is end of November. So I'm thinking maybe Dreamlight Valley for my birthday, and then I can actually play it. I did the same with Animal Crossing. I got that when I got the Switch and just became absolutely addicted. So I know that I need to like set some time aside to play it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I really enjoyed We Sold Our Souls. I read it on Kindle. What is the audiobook like for that?
It's pretty good. The narrator has got quite like a neutral voice, so it's not too high or too low. And she's quite, because sometimes with American audiobook narrators, they sometimes come across as quite whiny if they're playing like a younger like character. But I'm quite enjoying the audiobook at the moment for it, so we'll see. I'm only like a couple of chapters in, like I haven't really started it, but I found Grady Hendrix, I enjoy some of their books, but some of their books I haven't enjoyed as much. But I really liked Horror Store, but I didn't like How to Sell a Haunted House very much, just because it was not what I was expecting it to be at all. So I'm still finding my feet with Grady Hendrix.
I'm currently on a DNF with that one, but I think I might go back to it. I just wasn't feeling all the like grief and funeral at the beginning and stuff. I was just like, I don't think this is for me at the moment. But I really liked some of the ones that you haven't read yet. Have you not read Final Girls Support Group?
Not yet.
Or My Best Friend's Exorcism or Southern Book Club Sky Slaying Vampires? See, I'd say that they're probably my favourite three. So I'm hoping that you've got like the best three ahead of you. Because a lot of people start with those and then go, oh, there's some other ones that I'm not as into. But I think those three seem to be fairly universally. I think Final Girls is a bit more divisive, but the other two certainly seem to be really popular ones. So I'm editing for my agent that doesn't have a deal or anything. It's just like my work in progress, which I'm hopefully going to finish this month. And I'm reading this. I don't know how well you can see. It's Cotton Candy Massacre, which is really not what I expect. You know, talk about books that aren't what you expected. I thought it was going to be like a person stalking through a carnival. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be like a wild paranormal horror, which I'm quite into actually, because I just don't know where that's going to go. And it's one of those things, you know, like in The Stand by Stephen King, I'm thinking of moments where like the main character hears somebody cough over his shoulder. It's a bit like that, where you're seeing characters do stuff and you're like, oh my God, if this is what I think it's going to be, that is going to be a terrible decision. So I'm just like terrible decision central about a third of the way into it, maybe nearly halfway through. So yeah, really good. I'm having a real like indie horror moment. So I've read Taste Like Candy this month and then moved on to this one. So I kind of want all the indie horror now. Let's jump to the comments. Let us know if you want any book recs. So while the three of us are here, we're all big readers, and although Lizzie and I both are not having a big reading month, I'm with you on not so much slump as just I'm not picking up books, which I know sounds like a slump, but I'm just busy and choosing to do other stuff this month, it seems. So let's see how the people in the comments are doing. Hello, thank you for joining us. Hello. Oh, cool. I have read maybe the first one in that series and haven't picked up the others because it's fantasy and it's not as much my thing. But I love V. Schwab books generally, especially the Cassidy Blake ones. Hi, Amelia. Hi, Lucy. Oh, I keep seeing that, Amelia. What is it like? This keeps popping up on all of the like spooky season book recs. Is it cozy? I need to know. No worries. We have just got started. Thank you for coming and joining us. Oh, again, an author that I haven't read but keeps like being everywhere. Have you read any Alice V. Newton? I feel like you might have done, Lizzie, but
I have.
Yeah. I think I've read one, which was the Agatha Christie retelling, but I can't remember what it's called right now.
Oh, okay. I like an Agatha Christie retelling. Are you a fan of them, Vix?
I read Rock, Paper, Scissors and I absolutely loved it.
That's the one, I think. Has it got some scissors and like some ribbon on the front or something like that? I feel like that might be the cover that I've seen around.
The one I read was like paper cutouts of, you know, like when you do that with.
Like the paper dolls. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the one I might need to get. That's the one that keeps coming up as being really good. Oh, that's a good title. Have you read Catherine Foxfield's latest, Sharon? I can't remember whether we've had this conversation. I think, oh gosh, what is it called, that one? Is it Getting Away with Murder? Her latest, anyway. Look it up, because that's a really good escape room one that goes in some really wild directions. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I'd say that's like a mid-level ranking for me. Hi, Katie. Oh, good. I'm interested to know what you think about that because I haven't picked it up yet because I've heard a few things. So I'm like, oh, it might be sad. I don't know whether it's sad or not because, like, is it ghosty? I think ghosty books sometimes make me sad. So
it's really good, Amy. I do think you should read it because there is aspects of it being sad, but it's also a really interesting concept for what it is.
Okay.
I very much enjoyed it, and the trans rep is really good in it as well. So that is one I do recommend people pick up if they haven't.
Okay, good. Maybe I will. I keep seeing it and being tempted, but I just get put off by the sad. Oh, I haven't read much Jennifer Lynn Barnes, but she seems to be like super popular at the moment. I keep seeing books everywhere. Oh, that's so good. So that's The House Witch. I'm going to add that one to my list because I literally saw it about 3 times today and thought I need to know what this book is. Because, you know, in the cover, like, flicks up in front of you on TikTok and it starts to brainwash you and think that you need it. So I think we should go to sprint. For anybody who's not been here before, we tend to do 40 minutes, chat 40 minutes, and then finish on 30 minutes. Feel free, the two of you, to kind of come and go, pop off, pop back on, leave early if you wish. I'm going to be here till it's usually around 10 o'clock. So Lizzie, if you're starting to suffer by then, just, feel free to disappear whenever you want to. Lizzie's not very well, everybody, and she's still come along. So we need to be gentle with Lizzie today. Not that I would have been any other with you, but okay, I'm going to mark where we're up to in the comments. Pop the kitty timer on. It will meow in 40 minutes. Fair warning, everyone, and we will see you on the other side. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So we've got you back, Vix. Vix had some technical issues. Do you think you managed to sort the Wi-Fi problem?
Yeah, it keeps going in and out though.
Okay, it's annoying when that happens, isn't it? And there's not a lot you can do about it. It's like my Wi-Fi is just not playing tonight.
I can't hear you because it keeps breaking up.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Hopefully we can hear you fine. I don't know whether you can hear me now to tell you that, but so let's go to Lizzie and see if Vix can jump in a second. How did your spring go?
Yeah, good. I listened to 2 chapters of We Sold Our Souls. I'm on chapter 10 now, so about 30% of the way through. I've started playing the Zelda game, and I've realised just how awful I am at any other game that isn't Animal Crossing or Dreamlight Valley, where you have to do very little. But it's fine. I'm having fun. I'm just chilling out and trying to do very little and trying to move as little as possible. But yeah, no, I'm really pleased. I'm enjoying We Sold Our Souls. It's quite a fun one to kind of listen to while you're doing other stuff, because like every now and again, something crazy will happen, and like they'll talk about like new metal bands and stuff, and I'm like, oh, they're talking about Slipknot now. How random! Like it's quite fun.
Yeah, I kind of wished I got more of the music references, because I know some stuff, like I've heard of Slipknot, but I like it, you know, when like you get horror movie references and stuff. When it was music references, I was like, oh, I'm not as well versed in music as I am in like movies and stuff, I don't think. I don't know whether you have this, Lizzie, but I'm at a point in this manuscript now where I'm like in the zone, and like I find editing and writing generally quite difficult. Like I enjoy it, but I'm like a slow plodder, and like I'm flying through it now, and I'm like, oh, I actually get where I'm going with this now. Like I'm really excited. Like this is the bit that I dream of when I'm having the difficult drafts. I'm like, oh, I'm nearly there. I feel my agent likes it as much as I do. Oh, we've lost Vix again. I think she's having technical difficulties. So I'm buzzing. So if you see me smiling, this is me like writing murder scenes and feeling really pleased while editing them and thinking, oh, that's pretty good. I'm not having to change too much.
I'm really glad.
Thank you. Have you done much writing recently, or is it kind of taken back?
I haven't really been doing much of anything lately. But I do, when I am writing, I'll always be kind of like struggling to get to a point, and then suddenly it will just all come out at once. But I am thinking like November is obviously NaNoWriMo, so I probably will be back on it with NaNoWriMo, because I always do every year.
That is so good. I've never ever managed to do it. Like I've probably been writing since maybe 2014 or 15 quite earnestly, and so you're talking nearly 10 years now, and I've never managed to do it. I've always been editing, and I'm going to be editing until midway, if not end of the month, realistically. So I've like never managed to be at a point where I can sit and write a book. Maybe I'd quite like to do that in maybe January or something. Try and write one.
Yeah, well, I know they also do it in April. They do a Camp NaNoWriMo, which is exactly the same, but you just set your target rather than the 50,000 words.
Yeah, I did do that, and I actually found it really useful for a couple of weeks, but then I had to stop and edit because I just got in a complete pickle. So.
Yeah, well, I've been doing NaNoWriMo now for a long time, but I've only won like 3 out of like the 6 years I've done it, so like, or 7 years I've done it. I can't remember when I started doing it, but it's like a long time, and I haven't won that many years. But I always like to push myself in November, because it's when I'm like I can make time for writing in November, and it's my month to kind of just reset. So
that's really cool. I'm not really good at like pushing ahead with a book. Like if I spot something that needs fixing, I angst over it until I actually fix it. So I don't know whether I actually could write a book in a month. I feel like I might. I think the quickest I've been is like maybe written a first draft in like maybe 3 or 4 months, because I do have to go back and do some editing. So it's kind of not really a first draft. It's like a draft 1.5 by the time I get to the end.
Yeah.
And I tend to write a rubbish ending as well, because I get to this point where like Mina 3, I've just done it where I got to a point where I needed to finish. So the very last scene probably shouldn't have been the last scene, but I was like, I need to write this scene now so I can go back and edit it. I'm missing about 2 scenes probably, I think, near the end. But I just needed to be done with it. So yeah, it's weird. This year's been like bouncing between 3 projects, and now Taste of Darkness is out, so that one's done. And I've got the other 2 that like are both pretty close. Mina's not quite as close as the other one, but by November, all of a sudden, like all these like I was about to mix metaphors. I just said ducks in a basket. It's like ducks in a row, isn't it? Or eggs in a basket. All my ducks are going to be in their basket by November. I'm going to start saying that. That's ridiculous.
See, I have real trouble actually ending when I've been writing, like actually ending the story, because I get very attached to my characters and I just want to keep going. So I have to kind of curb myself sometimes when I've actually got close to like an ending point to not have another plot point come up and just be like, I can save it, I can do a different thing, I can change this around. But yeah, sometimes I find myself writing and I'm like, this is far too long-winded now.
It's that kind of fan fiction vibe, isn't it? And like Wattpad, where I think people often do like keep a story, like kind of keep reinvigorating it rather than like letting that arc close. It's like keeping it going. So yeah, that's how I think I end up writing a trilogy, because I'm like, I need to just, I always knew I wanted it to be a trilogy and I just had to keep on going with the characters. It's going to be weird when I finish. I have got a slight inkling to write another one. I said I was never ever going to, but I've had some ideas now and I'm like, oh, I need to let them percolate for a bit and see whether there is enough there or not. But yeah, it's very hard to let go. I'm just going to jump onto the comments. Hello. Oh yes, I mean, sweet does make me want to read it. I hope your spooky thing is going well. If it's the same one you were working on last time we spoke, it sounded very, very good. Excellent. Hope you're managing to use these sprints to be productive. Yeah, it's that's happened to me before. Generally, I try and write an adult book and it turns into YA. I try and write a middle grade book and it turns into YA. So I feel that very intensely, Ashlyn. I get that. And to be honest, I'd prefer it was YA yours because I want it to be gory. So please feel free to age it up and add the gore. Oh, Sharon! I didn't know that. That's so fun. I feel like you would be a great horror author. Sharon's read like more gory horror than anyone I know. Don't make it too scary though, Sharon, because I want to be able to read it and not be too scared. I'm going to put all my ducks in a basket, definitely. Yeah. My mum is really good at mixing metaphors and saying them with complete like sincerity and authority, like it's the right thing when it's complete mixture. So I think I must have just inherited that skill. Right, I think we should go to another sprint. I'm hoping the Vix might be able to jump back on. If you can hear me, Vix, I hope you're there. And if you don't want to jump back on, just kind of enjoy the sprint. Just kind of watch along. Me and Lizzie, I've got it covered while you're not there. Are you still okay, Lizzie? Just let me know if you want to go to sleep. And
no, it's fine. I'm as I said, I've chosen to do an audiobook for a reason. So no, I'm perfectly happy at the moment. So yeah.
Oh, Vix, I've just summoned her. Just absolutely chill out in the chat. This is the best thing to do. I just think with stuff like tech, there's no point stressing about it. When it calms down, the tech, you can come back on again. Thank you for coming on for the bit that you did. Okay, so you've got me and Lizzie now, everyone. Oh, Vix might be here again. Cross my fingers. She seems to have popped back on. Hello. I was just saying that you weren't here and then you're here. Can you hear me? Any luck?
Oh dear.
Oh, can you? Yeah, that sounds promising. Oh, Vix just muted herself. Look, get Vix sorted, then we'll jump onto the sprint. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, good. We can hear you. Yay! She's back. I was just about to go to a sprint, but let's chat to you. Are you sorted? Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm loving Nevermore. What is it? The Tale of Morrigan Crow. I'm loving it. I'm on 32%, and I've knit a little bit of sock.
Oh, cool. Is it different? Like, how do you knit socks? Do you knit them as two separate pieces?
No,
is it like all one piece already?
That's the toe.
Oh, that's so cool.
Amazing. Have you knitted socks before? It looks like you have from how neat that is.
Yeah, a lot of socks.
See, my grandma passed away a couple of years ago now. I have to think because time is so weird, isn't it? And she taught me how to knit. And every time I see knitting, I just smile because it reminds me. She said that I'm quite an uptight, kind of anxious person. And she said that you could tell it from my knitting because I pulled the knitting so tight. Like every knot was just a really tight knot. So everything I knit is like a tightly woven cloth. So I think I need to start knitting again and like try and use it to chill myself out a bit. Because even if you
I'm the same. I am the same.
Yeah, sorry, do you do that too, Vix?
Yeah, my nan used to shout at me because I've been knitting like this.
Yeah.
So she'd be like, put it down. And I'd be like, gradually
Yeah,
working my way back up again.
Yeah, my grandma would get me to like relax my shoulders, relax your arms, just sit and be. So yeah, in honor of grandma, I think I need to get mine out again. But it is just an enormous rectangle that I don't even know what I was going to do with it. I just used it for the relaxation. So it was about this. It's probably going to be a scarf at some point, but it was way too wide for a scarf like this wide. But yeah, it's fun, and I'm not good at making it straight. So like the edges are like that as well, because some bits are tight, and then grandma would tell me off, so I'd loosen it up a bit so it gets wider at that bit.
Mine used to like start off with like 10 stitches, and I'd end up with 20, and
Yeah.
to go back down again, and yeah, I was like that.
Oh, I'm glad it's not just me. I need to persevere. I've got too many hobbies. That's the problem. I do. Yeah, maybe that's the time, Sharon. I need to. Last time I tried to knit, it was summer, and I was like really hot and sweaty and sticky while I was doing it. So yeah, winter maybe is a good time. Same with cross stitch. I can't cross stitch in the summer because I feel too hot and bothered. So I might dig out all my cozy, like wintry activities now. It feels like autumn's here now, doesn't it? I'm hoping it stays. Like a bit of sunshine's fine, but as long as it's like cold sunshine. Okay, so we're all here. Tech is working, so let's go to a sprint and do another 40 minutes. I'm hoping that the next one's as good because it felt a bit magic, that one. Like I felt really productive. So good luck, everyone in the comments. Thank you, you two, and we'll see you in 40 minutes. Hello. Wasn't ready then. I'm in the middle of a really gruesome bit in Cotton Candy Massacre, and I didn't want to stop reading. Just gonna mute. Yep. Okay, so I got to a point with my editing where it was going really well, and then it just left me, and I was like, I haven't got any more energy to give this tonight, so I picked my book up in the last 10 minutes. And yeah, it's good fun. It's very gory and it's like a good B horror movie. I'm really enjoying it. How about you, Lizzie? How's the audiobook going?
It's pretty good. I'm almost halfway through now. To be honest, I have no idea what's going on, so it's probably going to be one that I'll have to read more than once. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm also still playing on my Switch, and it's
Yay.
driving me up the wall because I feel like I've done something wrong, and now I don't know if I'm going to have to restart it or not.
I just felt, is it a bit like Pokemon in setup? Zelda?
I don't really know because I've never played Pokemon.
Okay, because I don't
one
think
of
I've
the
played
old
Zelda before. Yeah, I kind of can't visualize what the playing format is like.
It's just like an open world kind of game. Well, not even open world. It's really hard to explain, but it's just like on an island, and you go around doing dungeons and finding creatures and finding keys and stuff. But that's the problem. I think I've used something in the wrong place, and now I can't get anything else. And I'm like, why?
That does sound like me playing Pokemon. I've done sort of things like that before. I'd like to try Zelda, actually. It sounds really fun. Maybe Pokemon. Someone in the comments, if you've played both, let us know if I'm on the right lines with them being similar. How about you, Vix? How's Nevermore? Is that what it's called?
Almost halfway through.
Yay.
I'm loving it. It's hilarious.
Is it?
It's so funny.
I love a fun middle grade book.
It's such a shame for her because like she's a cursed child, and like in her world, and then on the day she's supposed to die, she goes to Nevermore.
Oh, okay.
That's not a spoiler. That's in the synopsis, by the way. But yeah, like now she's in Nevermore. It's hilarious.
It sounds really cool, like a different idea. I'm all for books that are a bit like quirky and not like anything I've read before.
It's like a magical school kind of thing as well. So if you're into them sort of things.
Excellent. Right, I'm going to see what the people in the comments are doing. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it, Vix, at this point. Yeah. Honestly, the skin falling off bit is appropriate because literally, if anybody's read this book, there's some stuff with skin that is really gross, and I didn't see coming, so I don't think it's too much of a spoiler. You'll just have to read it and figure out what the heck I'm talking about. Yeah, we are definitely like people with diverse interests, I would say. Hi, thank you for jumping on. Not a problem. Interesting. Ooh, I like that point. Listening to a book. I'm listening to an interesting one at the minute. It's called The Vampires of El Norte, which is like vampires meets Western, kind of two of my specific interest subjects together. And I'm enjoying it so far. It's not really what I expected. It's like, you know, some vampire books, you get vampires right from the start, and then some you just get, people have got strange wounds on their necks. Imagine that. It's more like the vampires haven't, that you've kind of met them briefly, but then they're not in plain sight at the moment. But yeah,
it is one that I want to get to next month. Vampires of El Norte. It sounds so good.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm just getting back into adult horror, and it's interesting because I say the pace is very different from YA. It seems to be like often with books like that, like I just read Lone Women as well and really enjoyed that, but again, quite slow burn. And that's also a Western. I'm having a bit of a Western moment again. But yeah, I like Westerns that are told through the lens of people that wouldn't have had much of a voice at the time of, you know, the like frontier. So Lone Women is from the point of view of a Black woman, and it's kind of about what life was like for Black people at that time, as well as her life specifically. And yeah, Vampires of El Norte is kind of I think it's like near the Mexican border. I don't know whether it's just into Mexico. So it's kind of a different perspective on like living on like frontier life. It's not like the white man trying to find gold in California perspective that you kind of get. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling these like westerns that are giving different people a voice. Let's just pop to last comment. Oh, thank you for jumping on. You don't have to be a horror writer. I happen to be, but people come on these to read. Some people on screen read, some people write, and same in the comments. People are doing everything from playing games, like Lizzie's reading and playing game at the same time, multitasking.
Yes.
It's very chilled. It's not like a kind of members club, like just come along and do whatever you feel like doing. In the last sprint, for example, I'm going to pack because I'm going away for my husband's 40th, and I've like quarter packed, but I have a really good list that now sorts me and my 3-year-old out. I kind of let my husband do his own thing with packing, but I've now refined like exactly what we both need for a weekend away. So packing's quite easy, but I will need the sprint to sort it out. So are you two both continuing the book and playing that you've been doing in the last sprint?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I'm hoping that as a little reward, I might get my packing done and then be able to read a bit more of this, because I did. In fact, I might have just finished the chapter because I got to a really gruesome bit. So I think I'll find out what happens to this poor sap that's thought he was going to get lucky and get something else. So yeah, I'll finish that scene, I think, and then go and do my packing. So I will turn the camera off so I'm not darting around and annoying everyone. So I will change it to 30 minutes, the last one. So we should be finishing just before 10 tonight. This is the last sprint, and we will go to sprint now and catch you on the other side. Hello. Sorry, cough just come back on camera. That is it for last sprint. Lizzie's just off camera. Oh, you're back. Hello. I wasn't sure whether you were signing
Sorry.
off.
No,
fine.
I was just pausing my audiobook.
Is it good so far? How is it?
Yeah, I don't think it's my favorite, but it's fun. But again, I do think I'm gonna have to listen to it again when I'm a little bit more sentient, because I don't understand what's happening.
I don't think I understood loads of it, and I wasn't feeling ill when I listened. Well, when I read it, so yeah, I think it is one of those where some of it goes a bit wild, and you just kind of. And when stuff I think goes too wild, sometimes I do tune out a little bit, and I'm like, no, I can't compute this. So I'm just gonna disregard. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you're finding it fun still, despite it being hard to follow in places. How about you, Vix? How's your lovely middle grade going?
I stopped reading it when I got to chapter 13. But yeah, I'm still loving it. It is hilarious because I can feel myself just giggling away to myself.
That's really nice. I love stuff that actually makes me genuinely laugh. Like, I think it's sometimes a bit hard to, like, for comedy to land like that. That's really good.
It's like silly humour. It's very funny.
Oh, good. I bet kids love that as well.
Yeah. I can imagine them. The audio is fabulous for this. Absolutely fabulous.
Awesome. I think I might have it somewhere. I'm going to have to bump it up my list a little bit, I think. Yes, somebody is having a big birthday tomorrow. So yeah, we're having a nice weekend away. I'm impressed you're multitasking as ever, Mal. Hello. Sorry if you just popped on during the last sprint. We are finishing up in a few minutes. The waiting for the buddy read situation. It's hard, isn't it, when you want to dive right into a book? And I think buddy reading in general can be challenging, like slowing yourself down or speeding up accordingly. Oh, did you like that one, Sharon? Remind us what it was that you were reading. Awesome. I hope you managed to catch up. Hi, Stacey. That sounds good. I'm assuming you're in a different time zone from us because I'm at like getting ready for bed mode versus. Yeah, so in that sprint, I did very little. I played a bit of a game. I watched a bit of TV and did some packing. Did read the end of the Really Wild chapter in this. If you want a really like graphic adult horror, Cotton Candy Massacre, would recommend. It's like I mentioned earlier, it's like a kind of gruesome B movie, and I'm really enjoying it for that purpose. So yeah, I think that's about it for sprints. The comments have kind of stopped. It's been lots of lovely chat tonight, so I appreciate that. Thank you on screen. It's been lovely as always to chat to the two of you. Thank you everybody in the comments who's been chatting along. I think we're finishing a good time tonight. I have got a couple of interviews coming up this month, so I'm probably just going to be doing my Thursday sprints and the occasional Monday because I have to use my StreamYard hours up for my interviews. So I've got an interview with Kendara Blake coming up, so watch out for that because that won't be a live one. And then I've got one with Cameron Chaney, which is live. Kev, can you remember when that is? 30th. Oh, so 30th at 7:30 GMT. If you want to hear us chat, his Autumn Crow book, Fresh Hell, has just come out and it's so good. I'm about 20% in. And if you like 90s books, it's kind of written in that style, but with the modern sensibility. It's really, really good. And it looks really kind of vintage 90s too. So yeah, that's all my updates. Thanks you two. I'm going to sign off now, but hopefully I'll see everybody in sprint soon. Bye.